Hey, if not, I'm going to move on to the last one, which I know this is something that the employers are required to do every fiscal year. Basically, you guys have to do your project model elections. And I know that I believe something gets sent out in April and you have to do it by the end of June. So this is the way that you're going to submit that information. And there's two things I kind of want to show you with that. The first one is the employer model calculator. And let's see. So the way when I come up into my hamburger menu, when I was under the organization information, we had that calculator here. And so we can come here and click that. So what this is doing is allowing you, basically, I think of it as a way for you guys to play and figure out how, the different model projections and um, putting that money in or figuring out what model and how much the eligible earnings will be and so forth. This is just a way for you to calculate that information and figure out that information. So that way you guys can make the correct election for that fiscal year. Um, I'm, if a BA wants to get better explanation of that, that's my horror version's way of saying it. But you can come in here and we have the organization details, and then we can see the model projection. And so you can click on the different ones and put in the different information. I'll say, I'll just say 2%. And then once you've entered in the information, also I want to say this is going to populate, I believe it's based off of the last, and if I speak wrongly, somebody correct me, but it's the last projected payroll file. And so obviously, because I'm in the training region, this is not looking probably like it would for you guys. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. Um, this is training region things in my data. So with that said, I'm going to click this project model data, and then it's going to populate those total retirement earnings and then like the total member contribution paid by employers. So you can sit here and play around with the different numbers and the different models and, you know, figure that out and what you guys will need to be paying, I believe. So that is the employer model calculator. Before I move on to the model elections, is there any questions about that?
I just want to say how great of a feature that one is. We used to do it manually for schools. We used to, when they would call in, they said they were in negotiations, and so we used to do a model analysis. And it was two very intensive manual spreadsheets. So this is going to be really nice for them.
Nice. Awesome. Because yes, I know there's usually when I come in as the trainer, everyone's like, "Oh, you mean we can get rid of our spreadsheets now?" Like so. I
We're
am
going to get
amazed.
rid of a lot.
Yeah. Yay. Okay, I always love hearing that. So anything to make your guys' life easier. But yeah, this is where you guys can play around with that information. This is like, and you guys say spreadsheets, so that's like I said, the accountant part too, like spreadsheets. No, no bueno. You guys, I'll leave the mathing to you guys. So I
Yeah.
train for a reason. But yeah, so that's where you can do that. And then so once you guys have like selected or um, you know, you're like, this is what we're going to elect, even if it's the same one for the previous fiscal year. My understanding is you have to do it every year. So even if it doesn't change, you'll still come in here and there I'll go here to the home screen as well because you can see that we have oh, that's the way you can get to the calculator from here. But when I was saying before, we go to the organization details, and so underneath that employer model election details tab, it populates this information. And so you can see right now the employer model impacts, and it breaks it down in this grid. And so you can see what the, percentages are for each one. You can see what the current model is. So you also, and if you need to create a new one, you can come in here and click new. Now you'll need to put in an end date for this model one. So I'll put in, we'll say this ended in June of 2024 and it's starting. So I wanted to point out like the system is smart enough to know that you need one for the current fiscal year, which starts on July 1st of 2024 and ends on June 30th of 2025. So it populated that information in there already for you. So you don't need to worry about that. The only thing you need to do is like come in here, select the model, model 2. If there's an ER pickup, you can put in that. We'll say 2%. And then once you've entered in that information, you just click save. Boom, you're done. And so now it has this new model name and record and information saved. And so it'll just keep that for every year going forward. So that is the project model data information. Is there any questions about that?
I was just going to add right now, we have them send in a paper one every
Okay.
year. We require them to do that. And so that won't change. It's just that they will be doing it on here now. So every year they'll have to make sure they confirm what their model is going to be for the year.
Yep. And just to add, Tammy, to one more point to you,
Sure.
viewers, there will be automatic emails sent out from the system in April reminding the employers to select this. Right, that way they have some notification from the system and reminders to have them complete this by end of June. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought you had it set up too that they couldn't even upload a new report.
Exactly.
Yep.
Come July,
Done.
if the new model is not set up, you can upload a report, but there will be error saying that, in order for you to submit the payroll, you have to elect the model. You have to do the model election prior to submitting the payroll. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the employee model details stuff. So